You didn't grow your breakfast. You didn't grow your lunch either. Or dinner. You've probably never grown anything you actually ate. And that's so normal, you've never once thought about it. But here's what's strange. For 95% of human history, every single calorie your ancestors consumed either ran away from them, hid underground, or needed an entire season of backbreaking labor before it became a meal. And then 10,000 years ago, something shifted. One of your ancestors knelt down, pressed a seed into soil with their thumb, and waited. That moment didn't feel like history. It felt like a Tuesday. But that Tuesday restructured human biology, invented social hierarchy, and quietly installed the exact anxiety you feel about money, security, and whether you're doing enough. So what did ancient farming actually look like, and why did it make humans worse before it made us more? Here's the thing history class never told you. The first farmers were smaller than the people who came before them. Their bones were thinner. Their teeth were rotting. They died younger. They worked longer hours. Meanwhile, hunter-gatherers, the people we're taught to pity, were working roughly 4 hours a day. 4. Then they slept, talked, made cave art, probably argued about things that didn't matter, which means they were basically us. So here is the question that should genuinely unsettle you. If farming was worse for individual humans in almost every measurable way, why did we do it? And why does your daily life look suspiciously identical to theirs? Let's go back. 10,000 BCE, the Fertile Crescent, modern Iraq and Syria. The climate is shifting, drying out. The megafauna your ancestors hunted for millennia are thinning. The groups are getting bigger. Bigger groups need predictable food. So humans start doing something subtle. They notice that certain plants drop seeds, that seeds become plants, that if you come back to the same riverbank every season, the food is already there. This wasn't farming, not yet. Call it a hunch, a habit, a slow generational drift towards staying put. And then, one morning, your ancestor woke up and realized they couldn't leave anymore. The field needed water. The seedlings needed protection. The harvest needed storing. The grain store needed defending. They didn't choose farming. Farming chose them. Archaeologist Clark Spencer Larson studied skeletal remains from early farming communities and found bone-deep evidence of what that life cost. Women from Çatalhöyük, one of the earliest farming settlements in modern Turkey, showed severe compression damage in their lower vertebrae, starting in adolescence, worsening every year. From kneeling, grinding grain, thousands of repetitions daily. Your lower back hurts after 8 hours at a desk. Hers hurt from age 14 until she died. Dietary variety? Gone. You're eating wheat now, mostly wheat. The 50-plus species your grandmother foraged across a single season, replaced by one crop. Iron deficiency shows up in the bone record within 2 generations. Infectious disease? Invented. Settled communities plus stored grain plus standing water plus rats equals epidemic conditions that nomadic life simply could not sustain. Social hierarchy created from scratch. The moment you can store food, someone wants to control it. Surplus became power. Power became inherited. And suddenly, for the first time in 300,000 years of human history, some people worked the land and some people owned it. The population boomed anyway. Because evolution doesn't care about your quality of life. It only counts descendants. Farming fed more bodies per square kilometer than hunting ever could. The individual got worse. The species got bigger. That is a trade-off worth sitting with. Here's what nobody connects. The anxiety you feel about financial security, the specific dread of not having enough, of what happens if the system breaks, of needing to accumulate more than you currently need, that feeling has an origin point. It arrived with the granary. For 300,000 years, your ancestors lived in bands where nobody could own more than they could carry. Status was fluid. Leadership was temporary. Nobody could inherit power because there was nothing durable enough to inherit. Then the grain store appeared. Anthropologist James Scott found administrative clay tablets from Mesopotamia, 3000 BCE, tracking grain quotas per household, with consequences for non-delivery. This wasn't agriculture anymore. This was control infrastructure. And here you are, roughly 200 generations from that first kneeling ancestor pressing seed into soil. You wake up, you commute, you do repetitive, structured tasks whose reward is weeks or months away. You feel a vague, persistent unease about whether you're doing enough, earning enough, saving enough, producing enough. That unease is not a modern invention. It's not a personal failure. It's a 10,000-year-old operating system running on hardware that was built for something else entirely. Your body was designed to roam, to eat variety, to work in bursts, then rest, then move again. The 4-hour days, the open landscape, the dietary freedom, all of it traded away so quietly across so many generations that it never felt like a loss. It just felt like life. Somewhere between the seed and the granary, between the forager and the farmer, between freedom and security, something was left in the field. We never went back for it, and we're still not sure what it was. Stay curious.